And going live on the radio. Let's see. And see. I don't know. I don't want to try TikTok. TikTok has been all up my ass lately.
TikTok has been TikTok. I'm glad we're moving different directions.
And it's like, I don't know what the fuck I did. But all of a sudden now, the TikTok algorithms gods have targeted me.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they're mad because I said I was going to make my own TikTok.
I'm waiting for somebody to create a liberal TikTok where we can just ban all the conservatives and non-leftists and just have our own echo chamber. I don't really care about the echo chamber. I just want to be able to insult them as much as I want without being banned.
Right. But yep, that's the goal. That's my plan. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh.
So I actually found a script and template to use and everything like that. And so with that and all the licenses and fees for it, total about $150. It's not bad. And
No,
then,
that's not too bad. I think the biggest thing would be is if it gets bigger, it'd be server space and
yeah.
stuff. You know. I remember the days of old dial-in BBSs when you could only have 8 people on at once, and you had a 90-minute time limit before they bumped you so that other people could log in.
Right? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. We definitely do not want anything like that to happen, but
No.
at
All
the
right,
same
we're all
time, I know-
streaming then.
Yeah. At the same time, I know as soon as it starts growing, then I have to move up to a different server.
Correct.
So it is what it is.
Is what it is what it will be, and is what it always has been. Anyway, I don't even know what that means. My eyes are still burning, but hello there. Welcome to episode 27 of the Rules of Nerdquisition. We are definitely moving right along, and yes, my eyes are on fire because I sprayed setting spray directly into my eyeballs in a mad rush to get ready for this show. But what can a girl do?
Sounded like a good idea at the time.
It sounded like a great idea. Like, let's just keep those eyeballs wide open and just blast that mist full of alcohol and other chemicals right into your eye holes. I mean, just it was fantastic.
Great
It
way to
was
stay
fantastic.
awake.
So that's even though if my eyes are like squinted shut with all the water pouring out of them, as I sit here in abject horror and pain. But that's where I'm at right now. Gilbert, how are you? How you
Um,
doing?
I'm in 10% less pain.
10% less pain. That's a very specific figure. Okay.
Yes, except my pain is not directly in my eyes. It is kind of spread all towards my body, mostly towards my knee. Um,
I hate joint pain.
yeah, it's been a pain in the ass since I know it's going to rain. It's going to rain. It's definitely going to rain. Very, very bad. Very, very much. But seeing as how my pain is in my knee and yours is in your eyes, this is great.
This is fantastic. And oddly enough, we're talking about an episode of Star Trek, the original series today that deals with funny plants and the effects that they have on people.
Right? So this episode opens up. Whew. Let's see. The Enterprise is ordered to clean up the aftermath of a doomed colony on Omicron Ceti 3. Find another constant irradiation from deadly Berthold rays. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. And just for the record, the episode's called This Side of Paradise, right?
Yes.
Is it This Side of Paradise?
It is called Let me make sure, double check on that. This side of paradise.
I keep wanting to say Paradise Lost, but that's an entirely different thing. It's an entirely different thing. So,
So, yeah. We'll get to that one another time. However, when they get there, they find that not only the colonists are not only just alive, but they're thriving. Don't understand
yeah,
how. How's
don't
this
know how.
happening? What's going on? What
I
is the
don't know.
happenings?
Right, and to figure it out, we get Kirk and Spock, McCoy, Sulu, Kelowitz, and DeSalle beam down. Your red shirts. I
Right.
just want to point out though that DeSalle is played by Michael Barrier, who, born in 1933, recently passed away February 26th of 2024. Bing, bing, bing. Kill to death ratio 100%.
Boom. keeping that. Yeah, we go. Keeping it going. So.
Keeping it going.
And so when they get there, they beam down, and then they see that people there are acting a little bit weird. They're very Stepfordish, acting very under the influence, so to speak, but not a DUI. So,
Not to be confused with the people hosting this podcast.
correct. We are under a different kind of influence. But they go down and they see not only everybody's thriving, but then McCoy does some readings, and then they found not only are they thriving, but they are in perfect health. How the hell
Perfect
is
health.
that happening? Perfect health.
Right?
It's like,
I mean, you're starting to sell me on this planet right now,
right? I mean,
Gilbert. I mean, I kind of want to go.
I kind of want to go myself.
We
I
could be in
mean,
perfect health and enjoy.
perfect health.
But
You're
we haven't even
happy,
got
and I mean,
to the flowers that make you feel good yet. But
right? But on the drive, I mean, they shoot you in the face. I mean, hey, if you could take a facial, then hey,
yeah, shotguns are a thing. At least
Hey.
it was for me when I was growing up.
yeah, you could shotgun it. But hey, if you could take a shot, boom, you're good to go. And you could live on this planet forever, apparently.
Not to be shotgunned in the same fashion of the movie Tombstone, where dude put his mouth on the wrong barrel, so to speak.
Correct. So
Anyway, moving on.
we want to avoid that. But yes, moving on. So everybody's in perfect health. They're happy. Everybody's just, they're all at peace, and everybody's loving each other. And then what happens? People get shot. Everybody in the face. Plant in the face. Plant in the face. Everybody gets a plant in the face.
What we have here is an episode of, or an episode of Botanical Bukkake taking place, where everybody is taking facials
That's
from
a
these
fairly accurate description there. Yes.
herbal facials. It's good for the skin. What can I say? But
Said,
you can't.
Herbal
can't
pearl
buy the-
necklaces.
McCoy is not even high yet when he says, "On pure speculation, just an educated guess, I'd say that man is alive." Thank you for pointing that out, Dr. Obvious. I mean,
Thank you, Dr. Obvious.
wow.
Well, then
Anyway.
on first look there, Jim, I'd say that man is alive.
I mean, come on, Gilbert. This episode was made in the '60s, in the height of the hippie era.
Of
You
course.
can't tell me that the writers of this episode were not just like, I am
So
going to
we
make
gotta
an
make
episode.
it a little bit we
I'm
gotta
gonna
make
make-
some positive, and just seeing as that, okay, everybody's
Is it-
happy, they're in perfect health, everything,
And-
it's a great, environment. I don't like it.
It's like, hey Gilbert, have you ever seen Star Trek? But then, have you ever seen Star Trek on weed?
Oh, Jon Stewart. Love John Stewart.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
the writer was like, I am going to make an episode of Star Trek. They just hired me, and I'm going to write an episode about weed, space weed,
you
totally
want to make it
space weed.
space weed. So they have a whole planet of space weed and no dealers. So hey,
No,
colonists,
it's like
the colonists came in at the right time.
this is like that movie, that Leonardo DiCaprio movie. What's the beach? Like you got this like secret peace hippie commune in space, and we
Right.
haven't even gotten to the episode with the actual space hippies in it yet. But I mean, like this is like the commune, and they're just like, you can come chill here forever. We've got the best space weed around. It's
Right.
free for everybody. Smoke as much as you want. And there are actually not psycho murderer drug manufacturers in that field over there that you have to avoid. You
So
just have to
right. I
avoid
mean,
us because we're going to mess you up. We're going to mess you up. You have to stay and get high and have fun and chill. But if you don't, we're going to have to
so
take
then
drastic
when
measures.
I mean, all you got to do is just take a shot to the face. Take a shot to the face, and we can chill, man. If you don't, then I gotta do what I gotta do. I don't want to. I just want you to take a shot in the face so we can chill. I took a shot in the face,
I mean, this takes that 70s, 80s drug
but
commercial to a whole new level where the girl's by the window and the landing, the stairs.
mhm,
She's got the little device. She's like, it'll make you feel good.
right,
Make you feel good.
exactly.
This is more
But
like grab your face and
so
are you ready to take a hit?
it pretty much was like it was almost like drugs are good. Not drugs are bad. Drugs are good. But yeah, apparently within this environment, the plants and the spores were all connected with some kind of alien life form that was there. But then
Right.
the alien
There's
thrived in that environment. But hey,
mhm.
and
There's
when they
no animal life on this planet, like cows and pigs and dogs and horses.
right, which is interesting because it's like, how are they actually being nourished? So I mean, yeah, I get that there are plants that are there, and and you could whatever fruits or nuts, berries, or whatever they produce, you can eat that, and I get it, but need some kind of protein or some kind of grain or something, something substantial, because our bodies were made to kind of have that balanced diet like that. So
I just the planet wants you to be high, and it's
apparently
like
so.
you don't need anything else. I mean, obviously the people that are there are not malnourished.
Obviously, I mean they're in perfect health, so obviously it's
They're
something with the plant and with the alien that connects in there in that environment. It
and is
keeps them in
that part
perfect
of the
health and perfectly nourished. So hey,
even part of the trick maybe that's used to draw Spock in when Layla's like, "Hey, you want to get high? It'll make you feel good," like
exactly. Hey, you want to get high?
this is your brain. This is your brain on space weed. No, but yeah, I mean, apparently, Sandoval, who's the guy that they were ordered to find, the one that, Dr. McCoy very astutely pointed out is in fact alive as the guy's breathing and speaking and standing and talking to him and doing all the things that alive people do, um, including being super high on space weed. But
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
they're like starting to plot, right? They're like, we got to keep these people here. And she's like, Spock, well, he's going to leave. He's going to leave. He's like, nah, Sandoval's like, nah, he's going to stay. He's going to stay.
So
Take
now
him,
he's gonna
take
say,
him,
walk through
take
the
him to
woods,
the,
walk to the
take
woods,
him on
and
a walk to the woods.
take him on a walk. So just take him on a walk.
Just
Second
take him
Spock
on a
comes
walk.
back and he's like, bro, okay, hear me out, bro. You need to take a
Yeah.
walk.
and you always got to feel good for Spock when he gets a little action.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, I mean,
because the way originally he was written was that not to be like that, not to be the sex symbol that is just attracting just attracting just everybody, just popping in, just like live long and prosper. Ooh, and the panties drop. He never was, written to be like that, but it just happened.
right. And here's the interesting thing. So, a friend of mine were shopping some comic book stores and some memorabilia stores yesterday. Went to a couple of them, and one of them had some autographed pictures of four different Star Trek actors. They had framed autographed photos of William Shatner,
Okay.
Leonard Nimoy, Kate Mulgrew, and they had Jonathan Frakes, but his wasn't autographed, so we can just set his aside.
Okay.
All of them were pricey.
I
You
I,
know
I
which
can
one? Guess
imagine.
which one was expensive? What the most expensive?
Mm-hmm.
The person that
Oh,
they
absolutely.
say
Yeah.
is not supposed to be a sex symbol is not
Mm-hmm.
supposed to, but
The
the
one that's
one that
not
got.
supposed to be, but he was just thrust into that.
Now, I think that Mulgrew should have been a little more pricey than Bill Shatner's, just because he's become more and more Bill over the years.
Right.
But
And then
that's just me. But the difference was stark. I think it was like 80 some dollars for Mulgrew, 120 for Bill, and
okay.
400 plus for
Obviously
For Nimoy.
for
Like,
Nimoy,
wow.
obviously
Yeah, it was like,
because
wow.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know. I
Layla
honestly
is a
think
living testament to this.
I think Mulgrew should have got a little bit more, just simply because she was, the first, you know, woman captain of the starship we got introduced to,
Yeah.
and apparently, from from a few friends that I have that watched Voyager as well, that she was polarizing. Some hated her, some loved her. I personally, I loved her.
I loved her. And I've always had, I've had conversations about with this about friends before too. They're like, well, I like who is the more who do you think was the more not controversial, but forward thinking or progressive choice to play a captain on Star Trek? Because I've heard both arguments. I've heard, well, Janeway, because she was the first woman, but I would
Hmm.
argue, well, she's still white. And then some would say Cisco, because he's the first black man who was a captain in Star Trek. He's
Hmm.
still a man.
Right.
So, it's like there's
It
caveats and
says you're
not.
always. It's always going to be. Oh well, he's this, but it's not that. Well, it's this, but it's not that.
Now, for the
So.
record, I think that Cisco was the more progressive choice, especially just
Hmm.
because Avery Brooks is kind of, woo-hoo. I mean, you seen that dude like in interviews, like not when he does one, he's out there, he's out there.
Yeah.
He took a trip to this side of paradise, and he got more than a dime. I'm telling you, he got more than a dime.
Oh, I know. He came back with an ounce. A straight up ounce.
He rolled up in that place. He was like, "Let me get a Cooper. Let's not play games. Just let me get a Cooper." I mean,
Say,
come on.
look, hey, look, I didn't come to play games. All right, let's get that. Let me get that cue and let me get that ounce. And you know what? On the way back, let me just get that so I can have something on the drive back.
Right, right, right. No, absolutely, absolutely. No, I think that, but that's just my opinion. I mean, there's certainly merits to both, and I don't. I don't know. Every time I say I have a favorite captain, I'll see an episode with a different one and be like, "Oh wow, that's a good episode.
Yeah.
That captain's good."
Mm.
I know.
Yeah. It's hard it's hard to nail down like sometimes one of your favorite captains because every time there will be an episode that is like, okay, that's a strong contender. That's a strong contender right there.
Right, and then we could say, well, Sonequa, she's a
Hmm.
woman and
And
she's black.
right.
And
So
we before her we had a woman who was an Asian. So
hmm.
I mean, we've had some. I mean,
So
Star Trek Discovery was way progressive for sure.
oh, very yeah, and I can see partially where it got a lot of its flack from. I mean,
Of
aside
course,
from there was the potential of the lawsuit of the story of the first season, which it was
yeah.
like direct ripoff of the video game, and but still I can understand that just from Sinequa Green and Michelle Yeoh, yeah, there was some it ruffled a few feathers just
Well,
simply
yeah,
because just a lot of the fan base just didn't like it. They were so used to Kirk and Picard and Pike, and if it was kind of deviations of those, then it was like, eh.
I just don't understand why people can't get over it and grow. And but then we also live in the era where people are like, I can't watch Star Trek anymore. It's too woke. Like,
And
are you new here?
it's like, have you ever really watched Star Trek?
No, you have not. You have not watched it. You have not.
I mean,
You went and saw the Chris Pine version. You've never seen
right,
anything before that because you were the kind of person that made fun of kids in school that liked Star Trek. I guarantee you. I
right,
guarantee you that's who you were.
right, or you were
So,
just the one that watched a couple episodes here and there when there was a big fight, and that's what you
right.
just wanted. You just wanted to see the big fights,
Yeah.
and that's fine. That's fine. If that's what you wanted. That's fine. But don't say that you have yourself got a Star Trek expert.
No. Absolutely don't.
If
Absolutely
you
don't.
just there just watching for the fights.
I know a lot about Star Trek. A awful lot. Probably more than is good for my mental well-being. But I am not an expert. I don't even know that
Mhm.
much.
Right.
I still got to look shit up. I still got to dig and deep in, dive deep into all that and what have you. But Spock is high now.
Spock is high.
Spock is
About
high.
and I think like half of the crew is high at this point because hey, Spock is high. Then everybody's like, hey, Spock is high. It must be cool.
Yeah, because I mean everybody starts to follow suit. You got Sulu gets high,
Hmm.
and the crew starts beaming down. I mean, to the point where like Kirk calls down. He's like, hey Spock, we got some orders in from Starfleet. We got to do this. And Spock is like,
Like, Jim,
yeah, but
come on,
nah,
man. Said,
nah,
look here,
man.
bro. Hey, look here, man. All right, so, all right, bro. That
He's
can
see in
wait,
this scene, he's Spock is wearing a T-shirt, and what it says is, "I'm sorry, I'm late, but I didn't want to come."
right? Like this type of episode where somebody will wear like a tuxedo T-shirt,
Right. I'm formal, but I also like to party.
right?
Right. Baby G, or yeah, uh,
So,
Baby Jesus and formal T-shirt, tux
right?
T-shirt Jesus from
Ricky
oh my
Bobby,
God, Ricky Bobby. Thank you, Talladega Nights. Right.
Talladega Nights. Yeah, I was calling it Ricky Bobby.
If
But
you're
yeah.
you're not first, you're last. You said that. Oh hell,
I
I
was
was high
high.
when I said that.
Oh,
I was
hi. You
on
could be
this.
first. You be second. You be third. You could be fourth.
Hell, you could be fifth. Like, no, it's so crazy, so much. And he's sitting there, and then in the scene, he's got these little prongs in his chest from the space flower that just shot.
Right.
Ricky Bobby
Uh,
doesn't know what to do with his hands because you don't have to do anything. It's just direct.
yeah.
You
Just. Oh.
don't even got a puff puff give. The plant
Yeah.
puffs does all the puffing
It
and
does
does
all
all
the
the
pumping.
giving.
All you just got to do is just second hand. I just gotta do the second hand. That's it.
It's
That's it. I
it's
just
like the
got second.
reboot of Ren. It's the reboot of Ren and Stimpy. How many times do I have to tell you? I'm the pitcher.
You're
You're the
the
catcher.
catcher. and so yeah, pretty soon it's like a whole domino effect, and then the whole crew is high, and
And then
then
the whole crew is like, Kirk is the only person
Kirk is the
left
only one, and he's
on
just
the
like,
ship.
"What the hell is everybody doing? What the hell is
He
everybody
can't
doing?" And it's
he
like,
can't leave orbit. He can't pilot the ship. He can't do anything.
no, because the whole crew is high.
And for anybody that tries to say, but in Star Trek 3, it only took like four of them. You have to remember, Scotty took several weeks setting up a fully automating the Enterprise so that four people could pilot the ship. Because you
Right.
can't do it with four people. You can't. Although the Enterprise E apparently only takes seven.
Yeah, that is true.
Or
So,
Enterprise D, that is. I'm sorry. Not D
oh yeah,
or
the
C,
Enterprise D.
E.
Yeah, no, wait.
From Picard at the end when the seven
Yeah,
of
it
them go
was the.
after the
Yeah, it
Borg.
was the. Yeah,
Yep. The rebuilt
the
the
rebuilt one. Yeah. So
yeah
who knows? He made it. Well, Jordy made
the
it.
re
Jordy may have fitted it to where it could only be seven people could pilot it.
fair. I mean,
But
Scotty only had 2 weeks. Geordi had 20 years.
well, that's true.
So hey, I'll give him his props. Yeah, he had time. He was able to get that done. So, and we all trust Geordi. I mean, that
Of
guy can
course.
do everything. That guy can do everything but make a convincing roll under an engineering door that's slowly closing. Like he literally stands there like a fighter in a video game, like just kind of like waiting, and then he goes.
Like you could hear the 8-bit music playing.
Nothing but love to you, LeVar Burton. You have been by my side and my friend my entire life, and now that Bill Cosby is out of the picture, you are now the face of my childhood. So
Yeah.
now that Picture Pages
Yes.
is effectively removed from my memory, Reading Rainbow has filled all of the spaces.
Yeah. Absolutely. Because
But
it was Commander LaForge that gave me my love of reading. So
I was super
I
excited
thank you,
when
Commander.
yeah, when I learned that he was going to be on the show. I was like, "That's freaking cool!" The Reading Rainbow guy. Yes, that's awesome.
But I was
Like
like,
I
oh the hell
can't wait.
yeah.
I didn't know anybody else except the bald captain who I saw in the movie Dune. It's like, wasn't he in Dune? He didn't have any hair there either, did he? Oh, he did.
No, no,
He
no,
did
he
not.
didn't. No,
He did
no,
not.
he did.
He did not. He's been bald a long time. He's been bald a long time.
I think when he was born, I think he just never grew hair. I think he just stayed bald throughout his whole life. He's just been bald.
I'm pretty sure. I must know. I will consult the interwebs.
Oh, because we need to see whether or not if Jean-Luc Picard has always been bald.
Let's see. When did Patrick Stewart, not Swayze? He started losing his hair at 17, was completely bald by age 19. Although not
Although
completely, he did have, I
he had the
guess,
half.
even if you have that, I guess you're still considered bald.
So, well, not far off. Not that far off.
It looks like he wore some toupees for a while, looked into hair replacement, but I prefer you just didn't do that. There's no need. No need, sir.
Just,
Some men wear it well
yeah,
and
just let it ride, let it go.
let
And
ride.
and it works for him. It
Yeah,
works for
like I
him.
mean, like if you showed up on the next episode of Rules of Nerdquisition with a head of hair, I'd be like, um,
It's like you'd want to say something at first, but then
but
it's like, but
nah.
unless it was like some absolute wild ass shit, then I just then you'd have to be like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, I mean, if it was an obvious joke, like if you came on here with
Like,
like rainbow colored dreads or something, I'd be like,
okay, what the hell is that you have on your head? Like
yeah,
I can see you doing something like that if I just had some kind of wig.
speaking
Like I had a wig or something like that. It was just a rainbow color.
speaking of dreads, while I was
Hmm.
shopping yesterday, another place I went was a little boutique that sells like gothy type stuff, like where you can buy like pre-ripped fishnets and
Hmm.
leather collars with spikes and shit on them.
Okay.
They had a whole rack of multicolored dread extensions that you could or wigs you could put on. Um,
Okay.
this is just a public service announcement. White people, don't buy them. They're not for you. Okay, just don't. Just don't. I know you're going to think, oh, I must have that pride colored dreadlock wig. No, you don't. Stick with the pre-ripped tights and the leather and the spikes. That's more your style. Let's not do the. I'm just saying. That's it. That's my public service announcement for the weekend. Michael Barrier, rest in peace. I don't know. There's my useless information. So
So
Kirk is on the ship and
Kirk is
he's
on the ship
alone. He's lonely. He's lonely.
all by himself.
Myself.
Don't wanna be. So he is alone, and he gets
And
orders that he has to go. That the Enterprise needs to go to where? Where do they need to go? I forgot where they need to go now.
the orders are just to evacuate the planet, get
Oh,
everybody
just
and leave.
and leave.
Right, but everybody's on
And
the planet,
everybody's on the
including the
planet getting
people they're
high.
supposed to evacuate. And Spock is down there like, yeah, no, bro, I can't. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, man.
Like, bro, I mean, we're comfy down here, man. Like,
Like let's
like,
let's
bro,
say let's not, but say we did.
like, bro, come
That's
on.
kind of his whole
He's like,
mentality right
yeah.
now.
He's like, come on, man. Just come on, man. Hang up. Just come on and hang out in the planet, man. Let's just tell him we did.
Right. Let's just do what we do.
And so Kirk just finally gives in and he goes down to the planet and just
No,
goes
no,
to.
no, no. There's
Oh
a
wait.
plant
That's right. That's right.
behind the navigation console that kind of pops up because this is like, I mean, we have smartphones. Why can't we have smart weed? And it just like pops up
Yep.
from behind. It's like, and it blasts him, and he's like, oh, he's like, hey,
He's like,
I'm
hey,
feeling it. I'm feeling
all
it.
right, bro. Let me go down to the planet. Oh yeah. That was unprofessional.
Right. But he does get like all the way to the transporter room with the Safri calls Spock. He's like, Spock, I tried it, man. I tried it, and
Said,
this shit is
bro.
this shit is lit, man. I am lit. Like
It's like, bro.
just complete.
Like, I get it, bro.
I get it, man. I get it. And Spock's like, let me introduce you to my dealer, and Kirk's like, I need a suitcase of some stuff,
He's like, yo,
and starts to pack. Gets
yeah.
all the way to the transporter room, and then has like maybe this was negative Kirk that like stepped up and was like, I didn't get high. I'm not down with this.
Right, and then just before, yeah, because just before he starts to transport,
He gets in
then
a fight with
adult,
himself.
then adult Kirk, then Kirk being an adult,
The only thing
being
that
a
could have made that scene better
being a
is
damn
him like
adult.
punching himself. Like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Like,
Stop.
he's literally at war with
And,
himself.
he,
And
and he's like trying to hold his fist back, and then he's like,
but this is just another example of how it doesn't matter how many
mhm.
women he has,
No
how
matter
many fights
what,
he gets in.
no matter
There's
how many
one
fights, how many women, no matter what,
there's
his
one thing.
he loves he's obsessed with, and he needs just as much as air,
Right.
and that is the Enterprise.
And that is the Enterprise. So
Just before
he
he's
fights
about to
his
leave, then it kicks in. It's like, yo, I'm about to abandon this ship. Hold up, no, I worked too flipping hard for this shit. Ah, and then it
makes
just
me
snaps out of it. I guess just snaps out of it.
makes me wonder if like this is perhaps the basis for synthahol. You see, I'm sorry. I mean, I've had some buzzes in my life, alcohol and otherwise, and you don't just. And I've loved some things in my life. You don't just shake it off. You know,
Right?
I know this is the mysticism of Captain Kirk. It is the mysticism of Captain Kirk and his love affair with the Enterprise and all of that. And I agree that it couldn't be anything else but the Enterprise to pull him out of it. But I still question, like, wow, he shook that off pretty easily, where Spock could not.
No, no, he did not.
Because I
So
mean, we still haven't even got to the episode yet where Spock literally has to do mind melds with everybody to be like, look, these bullets that ain't gonna kill me ain't gonna kill you either. You know, we'll get to that.
but yeah, that's
But
another show
anyway,
for another time. So, but yeah, just that Kurt snaps him out of it, and I guess I suppose it goes into the whole thing is that if the spores can control you, but if it's something that just within an extreme thing within you that you can't do or you can't let go, you can't, and then it snaps you out of it. Then what is it with Spock? What would
right,
he
because
need in order for him to snap out of it?
I thought it would be logic, but apparently not. But, you know, we do get some good insights into that, especially like one of my favorite Spock lines of all is Star Trek Six when he's having a little conversation with Valeris at the beginning of the movie in his quarters before all
Mm-hmm.
the stuff goes down, and she's like asking like but is that logical? And he's like logic is the beginning of wisdom, not the end. So you
Right.
can see his evolution as a character too. But that
Mm-hmm.
being said, Kirk shakes it off, and he's like, oh, I gotta fix the situation. So Spock a call. And he's like, "Hey, I need some help with some things. We need a few things before we abandon the ship.
Right.
So come give me a hand. Come give me a hand."
Yeah. So he's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, totally understandable. Totally understandable. You gotta get a few things. Totally. He Spock beams up, and then the fight.
The fight.
Oh,
It's
the
not much of
fights.
a fight. One of the few times that Kirk gets his absolute
Gets it.
behind pasted.
Just just gets his ass handed to him. Just.
But you got to wonder what the insults would be today. So what really gets Spock angry is when Kirk
Mhm.
says that he doesn't understand how that Layla, could love, or how that Spock could love her, and how she could love him because he's a freak who belongs in a circus, right next to the dog-faced boy.
Ah, that is funny. I'm sorry. That's still funny. But today,
It
that's
is
still funny.
funny,
I'm sorry. That's still funny.
right next to the dog-faced boy. I can see Shatner saying it in my like so his inflections, everything. It's like just right next to the dog-faced boy. Like that's
Right next
so
to the dog faced boy. Like that would have been something. If I was like a boom mic operator or something, I couldn't be on set that day. I could not
no.
not after hearing that.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I Again, we're talking family television in the 60s, you know. The misogyny's no problem.
Right.
The hints of underage loving are okay, no problem there.
Of course not.
Some of the racism that's directed at, like they in some episodes they're battling racism, but then how many times is Spock referred to as the devil or a
Right?
demon or so
And it's
there's
like
racism there and prejudice.
so it's like some
But
is acceptable and some isn't. But
I don't know. Is calling someone a dog faced boy or is that ableist? I don't know.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm
But I know
asking genuine.
with Spock and all the W being called the devil, it's because of those ears. And it was like I don't understand that. It's just ears, and it's part
It's
of
just you.
ears, and it's part of the character, and the character is an alien. So what's a better way to differentiate? And he's an alien.
Yeah, they didn't have a lot of great prosthetics back then. I mean, all they had was some plastic ears, and they had to shave the outside of his eyebrows and then paint them up so that they
Right?
kind of point up. They
Yeah.
were basically just taking tips from any woman nearby. She's like, "Hey, we
Say
need to
hey.
draw some eyebrows on this guy." Oh, I got you. I got you. No problem. No problem. He should have
Mm-hmm.
pointed ears though, because I was reading Lord of the Rings the other day. Wow, that's satanic.
Say whoa.
with
You
all the
read that?
with all the pointed ears, right?
And that made first. Oh, you like that?
Oh
Oh
my
yeah.
gosh,
So
Sam.
oh my goodness. So the fights, and then for some reason Spock just snaps out of it.
It's the heightened emotions. It's the heightened emotions. So like if you're
Oh
like you're
yes, yes,
chill and
yes,
I
that's right. Yeah.
and I get that to some degree. Like when I used to work in restaurants and we'd come home from work, me and my roommates, and we're all working in the same joint, getting home. It's like
Hmm.
everybody wants to get their freak on for the night. It's like, you know what? Maybe we should eat and take our showers first because those are buzzkills.
Yeah.
You don't puff and jump in the shower because when you get out, you just have to puff again. Not that I wouldn't, but
But still, that's kind of a waste. That's a waste
it's a
of meat.
waste. It's
It's
a
a
waste.
waste.
It's a waste. Yeah. And there'll be plenty of time for eating too later once the munchies kick in.
Right?
That would have been a good selling point. Like,
But
hey, Spock, we
yeah,
need you to come up here. We're going to need the food processors,
it's like
right?
Spock. We're going to
Right?
need food processors. Oh, great call, Jim.
Spock should have been down there like, "Mm,
Say,
mm,
mm,
yeah, like I
yeah.
could go for a fruity beverage right
Say,
now.
somebody thirsty? I'm thirsty. Who thirsty? You thirsty?
Where's the fuck got hair in my mouth?
And then some random red shirt said, "Man, I got a cotton mouth like a motherfucker." Yeah, I got
Well,
cotton.
some of these people were so up there. I could see one dude saying that and be like, "Well, yeah, well, maybe you should stop licking that tree bark. Like, what are you doing right now, man? Like, you are. Let's maybe only half next time. Let's just have half next time."
Right?
Yes, this this is the "Don't Do Drugs" episode of the Rules of Nerdquisition. Disclaimer, kids: don't do drugs
Drugs are
unless they're
bad.
good drugs. Unless they're good drugs.
Said drugs are bad
Yes,
unless unless they're good.
don't do the bad drugs, kids. Never do bad
Don't
drugs.
do the bad ones. Do the good ones. Don't do the bad ones. That's our reasonable drug message.
It is a
This is our
reasonable one.
don't. This is our just say no to the bad drugs. Say
Just
yes
say
to the
no
good ones. Say no
to
to the
bad
bad ones.
drugs. Just say no to bad drugs. Gotta say no to bad drugs. God.
Yeah.
Don't be like me. You never want to crawl around in 2-inch shag carpet looking for a fragment that probably has a log and 3 seeds in it already.
Right. No. Matter of fact, the drugs you get at a Diddy party, don't do those. You don't want to do those drugs. Those are bad drugs.
Mm-mm.
Don't do those.
The good ones do not require the use of baby oil in order to imbibe.
Say that is correct. The good ones do not need baby oil.
Sulu set a course for way off track. Anyway,
Right. That took a turn.
engage,
That took a turn.
engage.
So,
Right. So Spock is coming down now. He's got a bit of a hangover. He's like, oh,
so Spot's coming down. He's got a.
that
He's like,
girl was that girl was hot though, man. I like that girl. She was pretty hot, but I'm kind of feeling logical again, man.
and
Just
he's like, oh, man, she was hot.
she was kind of hot. She was kind of hot. Let's find out more about Layla, shall we?
What is going
I
on
like
with
that.
Layla?
Layla, Layla, you got me getting high, Layla.
Layla Colomi. Let's see, Jill Ireland. She died in 1990.
Oh, she did. Oh,
Yes, look, she was. Yeah, she's known for. This is Hard Times, Death Wish 2, Assassination, Love and Bullets. What other things she's done? The Girl, The Gold Watching Everything.
she was married to Charles Bronson. That's cool.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. She
Yeah,
had three sons with her first husband, including adopted son Jason McCallum, who died of a drug overdose. Oh my God! I talk about how do these episodes correlate like that? How is this happening? Like, really, we have a drug episode, and we have one of the main actor guest stars in the show had a son who passed away from a drug overdose. Wow. Well, rest in peace. And that just now my kill to death ratio is 28-1. So, or 28-0 actually, because I'm still alive.
So you're still 100%.
Right, I'm still 100%.
I just got one.
Oh, so yeah, died
But,
18 May 1990. Jill Dorothy Ireland. Okay, well, rest in peace, ma'am. I hope that the drugs were good before. You know,
That-
at least yours.
I hope you had the
I hope
good
yours
ones.
were good. I hope you had the good
I
ones.
hope she had the good ones. But
But Spock's got to beam her up. Logically, he's got to
Mhm.
talk to her and explain things to her. It's only logical.
right.
I think he's like, I just want to see her again. Maybe I could get a little goodbye, something.
You know, man, get a good goodbye, real quick. I just need about a good 5 minutes.
I feel like I need some kind of for this episode. I just feel like I kind of need something here. Here we go. This will work. Can I do that one? I feel this is necessary.
All right.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
All right. Now we're back on track. We're back on
And
Peace,
so
man.
Spock has to have the talk.
the talk. It's not you, it's me.
Say,
And literally I mean that because you're high and I'm not.
is that right? And and I would stay, but Star Trek, the Federation, they need me. Yeah. I mean, you could come, but I mean, you can't get high.
Yeah.
So,
But that also sets off her intense emotions.
mhm.
She starts to cry. And she has kind of a double realization here. Not only is she losing the man that she's in love with,
And then she's not.
She's losing her buzz, man. It's
And
like
then
it's a total
she's.
buzzkill.
Then Spock is that buzzkill.
Hmm. Spock is a buzzkill, dude,
Spock is the
bro,
buzzkill.
man.
Uh,
Why you gotta be like that, Spock? Why you gotta be like that? Why do you do that to
so
us?
that is that's unfederation like, man. Like
Yeah,
that goes against that goes against Prime Directive.
but
Hey,
what's a Spock makes a cool little machine though. It sends out this signal, and next
and
thing you know, the colony of peace and love is now like UFC.
everybody's
It's
gone and they're starting fights.
it's turned into Superplex Party,
Pretty much
which
just
shameless
dog,
plug for my friend here who's
right?
also on that show. There you go.
You need to
Superplex Party.
every
Check that
Thursday,
out.
every Thursday, 9 o'clock, GCPR.live. Uh,
Was there a wrestling event last night? I saw you guys were live for Superplex last night.
there was bad blood. It was
Bad
bad
blood.
blood. It
Okay.
was one of the WWE's premium live events, and I know Thomas is he's going to. I think he had talked about posting clips of the live.
Oh no.
So yeah, it's hilarious. I could probably
I'm sure it
it's
was.
hilarious.
If I wasn't driving and out of town yesterday, I probably would have watched it. So, but yeah, I saw a couple bits and pieces here and there, and you had good old DT on the show with you too.
Oh yeah,
So
it was
anyway,
great. It was a great
Superplex,
time. Great time. So
right? Superplex Party breaking out also on a Sunday on the Rules of Nerdquisition with all the crew of the Enterprise now, like dropping the people's elbow,
they're
the
clotheslining
big
each other. They're jumping
right
off of.
DDTs,
Just
stunners, you name it. I mean, it's
they
just
they're just going wild. And
yeah.
then after a
It's not
while,
even
then
tag team or this is Royal Rumble. This is everybody in the
yeah.
ring at once.
Oh, this is a battle royal. It's not a
Battle
Royal
Royal.
Rumble.
Yeah.
This a whole
Battle
battle
Royal.
royal. And
There you go. Yeah.
everybody's just beating the dog shit out of everybody. Just just waylaying, just everybody just throwing potatoes everywhere. And then eventually they calm down after they after they hear the purge, they hear the purge whistle, and then they hear the purge whistle again, and then oh, sorry about that, bro.
It reminds me of the time I went to a Danzig concert at a very small venue here in Columbus. I was very excited to get in the pit. I used to love to jump in the mosh pit. Went to metal concerts all the time, did that. Everybody, we went with my buddy. We're like, yeah, we're gonna get in the pit, super excited. Got in the pit and very quickly realized there's no moshing going on. It's just dudes running around throwing haymakers. Take two or three of those, that excitement's gone. I tell you, I was ready to get out of the mosh pit at that point. I was like, yep, I'm done. I'm gonna sit this one out. The buzz is gone. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I had one experience in the mosh pit, never again.
Get the right
Nah,
mosh pit. It's pretty fun. If it's just got, you're jumping around, you're just bouncing off each other, which you're supposed to do. But I mean, literally, the dudes were just, I mean, full swing haymakers. Just like, I
no,
must have took two or three of them. Just, oh, it was awful. It was bad. It
no.
was violent.
I have one experience. I talked about it once on the Villain's View. Never again. Never. No. 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 I'm staying miles away from a mosh pit. Nope. No.
Well,
But
anyway. So yeah, we get a big mosh pit. We get
but
we get the battle royale of the superplex party,
then
and
everybody
everyone's just
fights
kind
it
of
out, and then they calm down, and then they realize, hey, party's over. Gotta go back to work.
almost
And
half
then
expected them to just all of a sudden after they're done ripping each other apart, be like, "Boing, you think your daddy could put him up for tonight?" Like, I mean, because now that you bring up the mean, you said it in that episode too. That was Purge. That was Star Trek: The Purge. That should have just been called
Yeah,
Star Trek: The Purge.
it was the purge.
Literally the Purge.
But
Now, if Star Trek Discovery season one is being sued for stealing the storyline to a video game,
mhm.
maybe Paramount should be looking over at the well, first who made the Purge? Paramount made the Purge. It wouldn't matter, would it?
Right?
That was Universal Studios, Universal Pictures. So, hey, Paramount.
But
Looks like they stole your episode of Star Trek there.
it ain't good, Paramount. That's not good.
Not good.
It's not good, Paramount. But still, Paramount, pay us. Pay us, Paramount. Pay
But
us.
yeah, and honestly, that just brings to a close a fairly, other than the battle royal at the end, which I thought was cool, and the fight where Kirk just gets his absolute
Just gets it.
keister
Just gets it handed to him.
spanked, just spanked. Like, yeah, it's like Spock is just like, here. Kirk is like, what is that? Spock is like, it's your keister. Well done.
Say yes.
It's what you ordered. It's what you ordered when you said my place is next to the talk face.
Say it. It's a medium well. Here you go.
Yeah,
Done to
exactly.
perfection.
And then, yeah,
Uh,
other than that, they decide the colonists are gonna try on another planet, and
and then they leave
well,
because
they leave and they leave. And again, yeah, up till the end, the climax, I think the episode was relatively underwhelming for the
uh,
most part.
I mean, yeah, it was underwhelming because I mean it was not that big of a conflict, or there was no war or anything like that going on. But I kind of feel like this: there are some missions that are just like that, just
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
not event filled. There's just some where, yeah, there's a fight that breaks out, but the fights that break out everywhere.
Right. No, no, I get you. And like I said, the climax, I think more than made up for it. Um,
Hmm.
but what I believe was supposed to be, for the most part, another fun episode, because we had some pretty intense episodes. We've had the AI episodes the last few weeks prior to
Right.
having Tom McLaren on the show and doing our BSG love letter last week. And we just needed something fun again, but fun in the terms of shore leave, not so much.
Right. But
Shore
yeah.
leave was a really so from beginning to end, airplane strafings and white rabbits and Don Juans and knights and tigers and and
Right.
and
It just
again and all the fun stuff
everywhere in between on
on Fantasy
Planet.
Planet. Right,
On
right.
Fantasy
Something
Planet.
It was just everybody was just kind of on a, let's
Everybody was just
it
high. And
even Comfest in Ohio and Columbus here is more fun. At least they got like stands where you can buy like treats and snacks and stuff. There's good music.
right.
We needed the space. This episode really needed to be combined with the space hippies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been like perfect. You have both of them in the same episode. Um, yeah, that would have been.
But
But
yeah,
hey,
could definitely tell that this was definitely hippie influenced. Uh,
oh,
to where
absolutely.
to kind of show that because at the time, at the time where they were the whole hippie movement, I guess. I
Hmm.
guess that's what you would call it when all conservatives or the whatever the powers may be were say that drugs are bad, drugs are bad, drugs are bad, and hippies were like drugs are good.
Maybe this is when Spock was part of the free speech movement at Berkeley when he did all that LDS.
Probably at the LDS
LDS.
at Berkeley.
Oh, We cannot let a bad joke go untold. We
Of
just
course
can't.
not.
Impossible. Impossible. So that's why we know that anybody who listens to this show has equally bad sense of humor. We just hope that you're engaging in the right activities to properly enjoy.
Correct. You know, whether they be edible or, you know, non-edibles.
Right? No,
But
absolutely.
as
And
long as they're the good ones and not the bad ones.
interestingly enough, I learned this. Um, Before I'm going to go online and do a radio show, since we watched it or did the BSG love letter episode last week, I went and finished off watching BSG for the millionth time. Do
Mm-hmm.
not watch Daybreak episodes 1, 2, and 3, and then try to get on the radio. So I was like, oh, Mama, there's Starbucks gone, and oh, it flew away. And I was just like, oh my God, that Daybreak Part 3 is 1 hour of me bawling my eyes out. Come on, stop.
That was the wrong time to get on radio.
I know, right?
The-
Face is all puffy, and I'm like,
Gretchen, you all right? I'm fine.
yeah, fine. Everything great.
I'm fine.
Oh wow. But still, so yeah, I went and did that. But as far as Star Trek goes, there's an episode coming up that ties into our little mystery. This will be the final episode. The next episode is The Devil in the Dark. It will be the final episode in which what's his name again? I know the actor's name. I just can't remember the name of the unknown actor.
The character.
Right,
plays,
Joseph Gallison was the name of the actor who played. It starts with an O. I can't remember his freaking name. Oh.
Oh. You're consulting the IMDb's on the Googles. Let's see.
Our mystery that we did that George, of course, George figured out for us. George has made some attempts to reach out to this person and get him on the podcast, which I think would be fantastic. I am keeping in mind though that this gentleman is 89 years old, so I don't know what kind of health he's in. If he something he would want to even do, I don't know, but we would love to have him on there because I think, Mr. Gallison, you deserve to be listed as more than unknown actor or uncredited. I'm sorry.
Red shirt number 2.
Red shirt number 2, right.
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
That's
Let's see,
just not.
Let's see. Over here right now. Georgia. No. I forgot. Who are you looking for again?
The unknown. I can't. Whatever the security guard. The navigator turned security guard. What's his in show name? Why can't I see? Like first, I couldn't remember the actor's name when George told me. Now I can't. I remember the actor's name, but I can't remember the name of the character he played, and I'm just so completely confused by that. I wonder if anybody in our comment section might know. Are we streaming on YouTube today?
We are. We are streaming on the Rules of Nerdquisition YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. We are live. Osborne. I knew if I went and looked at the YouTube chat that George was going to be there with the answer. And there's George. Thank you, George, again. So, Yes, we have
George, always
Lieutenant
right there on
Lieutenant
time.
Os-
Always
Lieutenant
on
Osborne.
time.
I will whether or not Mr. Gallison ever comes on the actual show, I will make sure that forever he is known as Lieutenant Osborne because
Lieutenant
he had
Osborne.
more appearances. He had more appearances as a side character than even Riley did. I didn't think that
Mm.
anybody ever got more than two. This is his third because he had one as navigator and two as a security guard. So,
Hey,
and as far as I know, a red shirt that didn't die. But we'll find out in The Devil in the Dark next week.
we
We'll
will
find
find
out for
out.
sure whether that exists. But that should be fun. So this is one of my favorite episodes. I just love it, and we get a really hokey,
Oh yeah.
the pain.
Pain,
Ah! When he's doing it, it's so
damn,
bad. It's so bad.
hurt.
Hey, hey, you should pack up some of them space spores for the
So we need some
next week's
space force
episode.
for that.
Need to make a inoculant or painkiller
Right?
for the Horta. But that's a good episode. I like that one. It's
Oh yeah.
kind of an
It's a fun episode. That was a fun episode. That's a
I'm very
yeah.
excited to talk about that one.
That was gonna be that's gonna be a good one to talk about. It's a little bit more in depth with a little bit more in depth with with the life forms that they come across, and just knowing that there's more than just carbon based.
And it was more than just a dude in a cheaply put together gorilla suit with a unicorn
Hmm.
horn slapped on it.
Right.
So
Yeah.
no unicorn gorillas in this episode. It was actually, in my opinion, somewhat of an ingenious design for the time period. Um, but I
Yeah.
don't want to spoil that whole episode because it is a cool episode. I really do like it. As far as I know, for everybody, I know we were a few minutes late today. I had some technical issues, but I have now figured out what my problem was with not just today, but also the audio issues on Friday for my other show, Peak Trans. Those have been resolved. We can
Peak
move on from
Trans.
that.
Peak Trans.
Peak
Friday
Trans,
night, 9 o'clock.
Friday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Thursdays, Superplex Party.
Nine
Sunday
o'clock.
nights, see both of us. The Villains View, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Soon, coming soon, October 26th, Plot A-Holes returns.
Oh yeah. You don't want
Plot
to miss
A-Holes.
that one. You definitely don't want.
Don't want to miss that
You
one.
don't want to miss
Don't
that
want to
one
miss that one.
because not sure what movie we're opening with. We're gonna figure that out. We got a whole list of movies that we're all gonna compile, and I don't know how we're gonna choose it. Probably pick a from out of a hat, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna do it.
We'll figure it out. We still need to do our little. I know Thomas wanted to do our like pick four movies and
Yeah, which is not a bad
send them
idea
in.
because I mean it
No,
gives
it's
us
not.
it gives you know a good choices. A lot of choices. Stuff to go. We are hell no, George, hell no, hell
I
no,
knew you were. I knew that was going to see that.
hell no, hell no. I mm. And the simple fact that there's three of them, Jesus Christ, that's even worse.
Yeah, yeah. I had never heard of it, so I really don't have an opinion on this. I'm more just completely invested in the drama between you and Thomas about this. I also just based on the title, I know you should never judge anything by its title. It doesn't sound like anything that I'm actually surprised Thomas would defend this so much. I'm not understanding that either. So it's like I
No,
got to
he.
watch it to understand, but I'm kind of always also on your side. Like I don't want to watch it.
The simple fact is that I blocked this movie out. I blocked the trailer out every time that we talk about it, and I finish talking about it, I immediately forget about it. Thomas is so he wants to watch it. I don't know if it's just to get our reaction to it or what. Probably just get our reaction, simply because it's a bad movie. It's bad.
Like the picture he sent us, like the picture he sent us.
Uh huh.
But hey, the thing now I just realized that I don't even know why this surprised me yesterday, but going through the comic book shops and realizing, like, I told you before, my mom bought me a copy of Red Sonja on DVD for Christmas like 12 years ago. It is still in the
Mm.
plastic. It's still in the plastic. Um, did you know? I'm sure you did. There was a Red Sonja comic book.
That I knew. Yeah.
I did not know that until yesterday. I was yesterday days old or yesterday years old when I realized that there was a
I read Sonya comic. I'm
Red
not
Sonja comic.
sure if that was the basis of the movie or the movie was the basis of the comic. I'm not sure.
As far as I understand it, Red Sonja originally was meant to be a Conan movie.
Mm-hmm.
There was something in the licensing or something, and I could be totally off base. This is just what I heard. I don't have anything to back this up, just hearsay. But it's supposed to be a Conan movie. Something happened where they couldn't use the licensing or the imagery of Conan, the naming, so they changed it, and they had Arnold play a different character, and
Yeah,
they shifted the story to be more focused
on Sonya.
on Sonya
Yeah,
than Conan. But
yeah.
I don't know for sure. This is just a rumor that I heard. I mean, I still, yeah, was Brigitte Nielsen bad in that movie? Not as bad as was that Ernie Reyes Jr. that was in the
I
movie? The little Asian kid who was
Ernie Reyes Jr. Yeah, cause
so
yeah. Ernie Reyes
annoying.
Jr.
He was so annoying in that movie. Like,
Yeah.
kid, please shut up. Just yeah, it was Ernie
Mm.
Reyes Jr. Oh my God. Well, anyway, that's a discussion to be had on plot holes.
Yeah.
Anyway, but next time we'll be talking about the Devil in the Dark. We'll have to talk about how we want to uh, pre-record that episode and get it on the air. Oh wait, George's got to come. As in Howard's Conan Red Sonja takes place Hyborian age, a fictional prehistoric time previously depicted in the films Conan. Right, 1918.
Conan Destroyer,
Okay,
1984.
I
Okay.
want to say wasn't Red Sonja also a Arthur Conan Doyle property, something he created?
I'm not sure about that.
I
That I'm
don't
not
know.
sure of. But I have heard that the character that Arnold played in Red Sonja was supposed to be Conan, but because of licensing and you know whatever the case may be, that they couldn't get the Conan character, so they just randomly created this generic strongman character for that was supposed
And
to be
and
Conan.
and honestly, I don't hate the movie because you know what? I like the fight in the cave with like the water snake dragon thing. That was
Mm-hmm.
kind of neat for the time period, but you know, hey, whatever. So next week we'll need to talk offline and figure out how we want to record the next episode. I will be out of town. I'm assuming, but based on what we've been talking about, we're gonna just start. Other than technical difficulties I had today,
Right.
we're at 3 p.m. time slot on Sundays.
Correct.
So you could tune in on GCPR Live and listen to Rules of Nerdquisition on Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and also pick it up on our podcast on Spotify. And you can watch the live repeat on our YouTube channel at Rules of Nerdquisition. Other than that, you can catch us tonight on the Villain's View at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And we'll see you all, or I'll see you all next time. And I will leave it to my first officer to set course to near Starbase and get us out of here.
All right. It's great, 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 great. Always a great show, great fun, good time. Always have fun talking to you, Gretch, and everyone. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for everybody in the chat. George, appreciate everything that you're doing. Not Birdemic. We're not doing Birdemic. Not if I can help it. Anyways, keep your triple spade and neutered. Live long and prosper. Take care.